Hi, my name is Kevin, and this is my first React video. I've spent probably the last 3 or 4 years watching React videos, and I decided it was just time to make some of my own, just for the sheer fun of it. So here's my goal. With React videos, I generally get the most out of somebody like like Michael Palmisano, Guitargate. He's a lot more musically inclined and talented than I am. I have a small background in music and playing in bands in my high school and when I was in high school and stuff like that. But I don't know music theory to the extent that he does, and that's okay. You don't have to. In fact, plenty of people react to videos that don't have much musical background. But what I want to cover with each of these is something that's a little bit more than just like, oh, that's cool. Oh, I really liked that. I want to speak to what I'm experiencing, what I'm seeing through these videos, and just hit a couple more notes. So I want to talk about one, the musicality from a technical standpoint. Two, from an arrangements standpoint, is it more than just kind of verse chorus going on? And then three, from a production standpoint, I'm going to try and focus on live music, and so production really does change the experience of how you enjoy that track or how you experience that track. So it'll be interesting to see. The other part, the second part I want to talk about is the message or the lyrics. Now, I am not a lyric person. I enjoy music for music's sake. I love melody. I love song structure, but great lyrics are more of a bonus to me. However, I tried to pay attention to them as much as I can, and I think it's important. Lastly is then just to cover some of the intangibles. Sometimes, above all else, or regardless of all else, a song is effective for some other reason. Maybe it's just the sheer performative measure or performative aspect of that song, or maybe it just is something outside the norm, something that you can't really describe. So I want to hit all those points. I'm done talking. We have today we're going to be listening to Plini Cascade. I know of Plini. I'm actually wanted to do this video because I've only listened to studio stuff, never seen anything that he's done live or the band. Again, I think Plini is one person, and I thought it was. I always understood Plini to be kind of a virtuoso of all instrumentation, but potentially I'm wrong. Maybe there's I thought he wrote and actually performed everything in the studio, and just toured with other musicians, but I could be wrong on that. Well, I guess we'll find out. But anyway, I'm going to see Plini in May in Chicago here, so I'm pretty pumped about it. So I figured, check out and see what it would be like live, and I'm sure I'm in for a treat. So Plini Cascade, let's do it. Give me a little bit of grace here. This is my first time doing this. I think we're good. Sounds nice. All right, here we go. All right, so full band here. Obviously, everyone's almost equally as talented as Plini, the musician here. So, or the guitar player. So, one of the things that's always stuck out to me about this band is just how tight and syncopated drum and bass are, the rhythm section. And already you can see here that's what's going on. All right, first thing I'm noticing that's just caught my attention is how insanely relaxed he is. I mean, just the posture, everything. This is very technical. There's a lot of changes going on. There's just a lot happening in these songs, and he has this just absolutely relaxed posture and approach to the way he plays. Just sitting in there. All right, so and the other thing that just dawned on me is let's talk about genre for a second here. I never know how to categorize Pliny here because, and I don't even know if it's Pliny or Plini or whatever. I think of Pliny the Elder, the beer. But I don't know how to categorize it. It's progressive metal, maybe. But I also associate metal with like minor chords and minor keys. But it's usually, there's a lot of major stuff happening here. So it's kind of like uplifting progressive metal. Let's go with that. I love those breaks do like that kind of stuff where it's just it's like these just kind of like jazzy breaks. He does it incredibly well, and he uses that effect a lot. But it helps it helps create a lot of space. So the rhythm section is kind of doing this syncopated other thing where the keys and the guitar are layering above it. So it helped create a lot of space in kind of an otherwise chaotic song. So here's something that's kind of cool happening here. The bass and the rhythm guitar are syncopated really nicely. They're almost kind of mirroring each other and doing these little breaks again. And the drummers and the lead are kind of doing kind of the more of the lead work. So it's interesting. Goes without saying that everyone here is an amazing musician. talk about the production of this video real quick. Sorry, and people don't get mad about stopping because it's a React video. People are gonna stop. This is a really cool, well done, live in studio capture of this performance. I mean, the lighting, everything that's happening is like, I might as well be a live concert, but it seems like it's like a live concert for one. It's really cool. A lot of times you see stuff that's in studio and it's just kind of, there's no lighting effects and there's no kind of intensity to the camera work that makes it feel like this is a concert capture, So I like how they've done that. Wicked bass. I mean, that is some awesome bass work. I'm gonna have to go back and play that again. I love it. It all resolves. Like, it all resolves to this kind of soaring. They were just banging out one note there, and they all kind of resolved it there, and it just creates this incredible, coming back together moment where everyone's back on the same page, where there's the chaos falls away and everyone's driving towards the same same note at the same time. It's really cool. I'm going to go back a little bit and listen to that again. Yeah, right there. Very cool. Very cool. All right, so a couple of things. I don't really go back to the genre thing. I have a hard time figuring out who to compare them to. There's definitely elements of a lot of different prog stuff I hear going on there. It's not nearly as like operatic as something like Dream Theater or something like that, but what seems to drive Plini is melody. Even though there's a lot of that kind of those breaks, a lot of that syncopation that's happening, it's still the melody and kind of that soaring, those soaring guitar parts that drive a lot of what's going on here. It's kind of a theme that happens in a lot of his songs, is that it's this resolution into these soaring melodies that it seems almost like the syncopation, the chops, all that kind of those heavy changes happening seem to build up to or in service of a soaring melody, and so that's what kind of brings me back, is because it's like it's feel good music. It feels good when it hits when it kind of crescendos in those moments where you're just like, yes, these guys are killing it. Now, everything else aside, I mean, they have tremendous chops, obviously. Just tremendous chops. The musicianship alone is on par with most modern musicians who are doing this sort of very progressive, I will call it metal. Now let's talk about the arrangement. It's all over the place, but that's not I shouldn't say it. It's not all over the place. It is very structured, but there are a lot of changes, right? I can't go back in my mind and pick out like a part in my mind that I can repeat. But what I know is that it was all built around a groove, and it's built around and it kind of leads to a melody. Like I said before, that's kind of how his music is generally structured. The production in the video was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it had studio quality sound, but they're playing live there. If they're not playing, no, they're playing live there. And so you wouldn't have known. It just sounds like one of his studio recordings. It sounds tremendous. I mean, kudos to the sound engineer and all the camera work and whoever filmed that. It was done. The production was ridiculous, and the lighting, not to mention, which all adds to the overall enjoyment of that. I see this video as part of like 2 or 3 other songs. I might have to go and watch the rest of this video because I think there's 2 songs that precede this one. Let's talk about the messaging of the lyrics. So there's no lyrics. It's an instrumental song. This is kind of what I lean into. But not to say that it doesn't have kind of a message. Again, to me, this is maybe not a message, but tone-wise, this is like I'm going to keep using that term, soaring. It's meant to uplift. This to me was very kind of uplifting and makes me feel good. At the end of the day, I want to listen to this song when I'm driving down the road going, I don't know, somewhere above 60, and it's nice outside. So that's the vibe I get, was just like driving, good times, end of the day, ready to rock out on the way home. And then lastly, the intangibles. There's just like, Plini has his sound. I mean, it is unmistakable, and everything that he does, it's a lot of what I already described. It's those kind of returning themes of soaring melodies that they keep me coming back. Not only that, but just the tightness. I mean, you think about a lot of those those breakdowns and those chops, and it's just like everything is. I don't want to. This is going to sound negative. It's seemingly quantized on a grid. But that's just how tight it is. It is not to take anything away. There's nothing that sounds inorganic about his music. It just sounds so spot on. So that's what keeps me coming back to Plini. Very excited to go see him in May now in Chicago, and this band is just ridiculous. So that's gonna wrap up my first react video. Go easy on me. Hopefully I could do some more of these if I get so motivated. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and go check out Plini.